In this video, I will demonstrate how to construct a square on GeoGebra. As you can see on my screen, I'm using GeoGebra's browser, web browser, which works pretty much the same as their app. What I'm going to do is I'm going to construct the square using a circle, and then I'm going to construct using rotations. So first way of doing it is you start with any kind of circle with certain radius, and then we will construct that radius using the segment tool. All right, so that is going to be one of the sides of my square. Next thing we need to do is we need to construct a right angle, because what we know is that squares will have 4 right angles. And so to be able to do that, we have to use the perpendicular line tool. And so I'll use the perpendicular line tool. I take the tool, and then I need to click the segment and then any of these points. So I'll click the segment and I'll drag my mouse until it's right on that point A. And so you guys can see now I created one of the right angles. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the second side by putting a point at that intersection of the line with the circle. You guys realize the segment AC is equivalent to AB because that is also the radius of that circle. Now, next thing I'm going to do is now I have the 2 sides, but I have to have the third and the fourth sides. And to be able to do that, I have to use the parallel line tool. So to be able to do that, I'm going to click, say, the line segment AB, and then I'm going to drag it until it sits right on that point C. And so now you can see I've almost created the line, the third side. I just have one more step. I'm going to also create a parallel line across AC. So I click AC and then I drop the line right on that point B. Now you can see my square is more or less visible. So I'll put a point on that intersection of the 2 parallel lines I just created. And that is going to be my 4th kind of corner. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to create line segments for the last 2 sides that I had, because I'm going to undo the parallel lines. And so I'll do line segment from B to D and then D to C. Now I can confidently go ahead and remove all these lines so I can have just the square visible. So I'll first start with the circle. Oops. I'm going to start unhiding. So settings, height, same thing for this guy, same thing for this guy, same thing for this guy. Oops, I guess I'm missing a line segment over here, so I'll just add that very quick right there. All right, so here we go. So now we have a square, and you can drag the point and you can see it's always going to be a square. I can drag these 2 points, and then I can always observe that it's going to be a square. And obviously points C and D were constructed later, and those are going to be fixed points. Next way of constructing a square is using the fact that we can always rotate objects. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with a line segment. All right, so I'm going to let EF be one of the sides of my potential square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this segment around any of the endpoints, either E or F, doesn't matter. What I'm pretty much doing is to copy this at a right angle, at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and use rotate around a point tool. So I'm going to click my line segment, because that's this object that I like to rotate around a point. And I'm going to click any of the points. So if I click E, and then I'm going to type 90-degree angle here, counterclockwise, you guys can see I just created the second side. And kind of pretty much copying the same procedure, I will be able to I will be able to complete my square. So this one, it's going to be clockwise because we're going the other side. Again, 90 degrees right here, and then here we go. Same thing here. I'm going to click that, and then the center, put 90 degrees in. I think this is going to be clockwise as well. Here we go. So as you guys can see, I just created my square using that strategy, and I should be able to see that this is always going to be a square. So if you keep rotating segments, it's always going to form a square. That's all. Thanks for watching.